Breaking news: Putin's diplomatic efforts are dissected by a Russian journalist. To discuss Russian President Vladimir Putin's efforts to strengthen ties with African countries at a summit in St. Petersburg and Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin's latest whereabouts, Russian journalist Mikhail Zygar joined CNN's Jim Sciutto. In 2024, a new poll shows that Senator Elizabeth Warren is in jeopardy. New York. In a survey of likely voters for Mass Fiscal, 750 people expressed doubt that Elizabeth Warren would be elected to the U.S. Senate. When asked who they would vote for in a hypothetical runoff between the two-term senator and former Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito, 41% of respondents said they would re-elect Warren and 29% would choose Polito. 30% were on the fence. After conducting the same thought experiment in May with former Governor Charlie Baker as foil, Mass Fiscal has now called for a second poll pitting the 74-year-old Democrat against a well-known Bay State Republican candidate. That hypothetical poll showed Baker could win by double digits over Warren. Neither Baker nor his ex-Lt. Governor have indicated any interest in running for the Senate. Massachusetts Fiscal Alliance Foundation spokesman Paul Craney said his organization had not heard from Polito suggesting she would run against Warren in 2024. Putin promises to strengthen Russian ties to Africa while criticizing the continent's other leaders. As he blasted rival powers for what he called their attempts to impose their rules, President Putin told African leaders he is committed to expanding Russia's role on the continent. Putin said on the second day of the Russia-Africa summit in St. Petersburg on Friday, "Russia's focus on Africa is steadily increasing, and our plans to expand our diplomatic presence in the continent demonstrate this." One author writes, "The main thing that unites Russia and Africa is their efforts to fight for true sovereignty. The era of hegemony of one or of a group of states is fading into the past." To counter U.S. and allied efforts to isolate Russia over its invasion of Ukraine, Putin is hosting 17 heads of state and lower-level officials from other African countries. A total of only 17 heads of state attended, which is significantly fewer than the 43 who attended the first summit in 2019. The Kremlin has stated that unprecedented pressure from the United States and its allies is to blame for the low turnout. After a boat capsized early Friday morning near Navy Pier, police located the body of a 20-year-old woman. At about 2:40 a.m., as the boat was making its way back to shore, it may have collided with a breakwater, injuring 6 people in their 20s and 30s. Chicago's police and fire departments arrived on the scene and helped pull 6 people from the water. There were 6 patients taken to local hospitals, 4 to Northwestern and 2 to Stroger. According to the police, everyone is doing fine. The search for a missing 20-year-old woman was put on hold at first because of bad weather. The police located her body once they resumed their search. In the Playpen in downtown Chicago, a popular boating area, a woman lost both of her legs in August after being sucked under a boat's reversing propeller. A man had been found dead and another was in critical condition from an unrelated incident a few days earlier. Philadelphia home damaged in 5th transit accident this week after trolley crashed into it. When the runaway trolley slammed into Delia King's living room on Thursday night, the entire house shook and there was a loud screech. "I thought the house was going to collapse right then and there," King, an artist who was lying in bed on the second floor of her 1766 home on the quiet, muggy evening in Philadelphia, later recalled. After hurriedly descending the stairs, she took in the devastation she found. "There was a trolley in my living room, and everything was just devastated." This is the 5th accident involving a SEPTA vehicle in the past week, and the agency has said it is looking into the cause. King is a tenant and caretaker at the pre-Revolutionary War Blue Bell Inn in southwest Philadelphia, and she claims that the front wall of the building was torn out by a defunct SEPTA trolley right at the spot where she stands to paint. A visibly shaken King, 49, said on Friday morning, "If I had even been downstairs, like even at the back of the room, I probably would have been very gravely injured or dead because it just shot that front wall, it just imploded into my house." To tell you the truth, I'm just happy to be alive.